Hey everyone, welcome back. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me today for another explainer. We're going to take a super fascinating look at the power of the mind, specifically drawing from the incredibly popular guided affirmations created by Lavender. If you've ever felt stuck in a rut or wrestled with that relentless inner critic, that little voice pointing out literally every mistake you make, well, this explainer is definitely for you. We're going to break down Lavender's blueprint for using guided affirmations to actively build self-love, self-esteem, and just unshakable confidence. It's not just about positive thinking or slapping a smiley face over a bad day. It's about fundamentally reshaping how you see yourself from the inside out. Okay, so we're going to walk through 5 key stages today. First up, the science of affirmations. Second, radical self-acceptance. Third, recognizing your innate worth. Fourth, stepping into true power. And finally, the 21-day blueprint.
All right, let's dive right into section 1, the science of affirmations.
So the source presents this really fascinating premise. We aren't just giving ourselves a quick temporary mood boost when we repeat these affirmations. We're literally reprogramming our minds. According to the Lavender framework, through repeated listening and reciting, you're actively creating brand new neural pathways in your brain. You can kind of think of these pathways like hiking trails, right? The more you walk a specific trail, the clearer, wider, and easier to travel it becomes. It basically becomes your default route. You're essentially taking those overgrown, thorny mental routes of self-doubt and just letting them wither away from lack of use, while simultaneously carving out fresh, paved mental routes of confidence. And what's absolutely incredible about neuroplasticity is that your brain actually doesn't know the difference between a deeply held negative belief and a new positive thought you're intentionally practicing. It just responds to the repetition.
Now, this is a dual mechanism, and it's absolutely vital to understand. We aren't just slapping positive thoughts on top of a shaky foundation. No, the repetition of affirmations works as a two-way street. On one side, we're actively breaking down old negative thought patterns, the ones constantly telling you aren't enough or that you're an imposter. And on the flip side, we are simultaneously building new positive thought patterns to replace them. It's honestly like a full-scale renovation of your mental space. You've got to tear down the rotting drywall of self-doubt before you can put up the fresh, sturdy beams of self-assurance. It takes work, for sure, but the structural integrity of your whole new mindset depends entirely on this dual action.
Moving on to section 2, radical self-acceptance. I accept myself exactly as I am. I really want you to reflect on the power of total self-acceptance as the starting line here. Because think about it, you can't build true confidence if you're constantly at war with your current reality. Think about how much energy we waste just fighting ourselves, right? Wishing we were further along in our careers, wishing we looked different, wishing we hadn't made that one mistake 5 years ago. Actually, Lavender starts the reprogramming right here. Total, unconditional acceptance of who you are, right in this exact moment. It's basically the ultimate permission slip to drop the baggage. You're saying, hey, here I am, flaws in the whole shebang, and that is perfectly fine. Now, what's really interesting about this approach is how Lavender specifically targets different aspects of our identity during this phase. It isn't just some vague, I like myself statement. These affirmations explicitly hit on really deep-seated insecurities. They declare, I am beautifully unique and incomparable to others, which actively cuts off that toxic habit of comparison. Because let's be real, scrolling through social media is basically an Olympic sport in comparing our messy behind-the-scenes reality to everyone else's highlight reel. The source also mandates physical gratitude with affirmations like, I am grateful for my body and all it does to support me. It's a really holistic approach to accepting both your physical form and your unique individuality so that you can genuinely shine as your true self. Okay, section 3, recognizing your innate worth. I want to focus your attention on one specific word here, innate. My worth is innate and cannot be taken away. The source frames self-worth as a permanent fixture. And in a world that is constantly telling us we've got to hustle, achieve, and produce just to be valuable, this is a pretty radical concept. Your worth is not something you earn by working 80 hours a week, and it's certainly not something you lose if you make a mistake or totally fail at a project. It's an intrinsic, undeniable part of you that absolutely no one, no boss, no ex-partner, no critic can ever strip away. Notice the deliberate structure of these phrases. The source repeats and compounds the word enough. I have enough, I do enough, I am enough, I am good enough. This is a highly targeted strategy to systematically overwrite those chronic feelings of inadequacy that frankly so many of us carry around like a heavy backpack. By repeating it in literally every single tense and context, what you have, what you do, and who you are, the mind is given absolutely no room to argue. You're closing all the loopholes your inner critic might try to sneak through. You are unequivocally enough. So
The really crucial takeaway here is this: I have everything I need within me to succeed. The source insists that you actually don't need to look outward for validation or constantly search for external tools to achieve your dreams. It's almost like that classic Wizard of Oz moment, right? You've had the power all along. All the necessary tools, the creativity, the capability, the resilience, the smarts, they are already inside you. You aren't lacking anything. You just need to uncover what's already there and give yourself the permission to actually use it.
Which brings us to section 4, stepping into true power.
Setting boundaries is an act of self-love. Man, this is a major mindset shift. Let's be real for a second. Most of us are absolutely terrible at setting boundaries. We tend to view them as defensive walls that keep people out, or worse, we feel incredibly guilty for daring to say no to someone. We find ourselves constantly apologizing just for protecting our own time. But the source reframes boundary setting entirely. It's not a defense mechanism or a selfish act. It's a proactive, positive act of self-care. It is a fundamental requirement for maintaining your newly recognized self-worth. If you value yourself, well, you have to protect that value.
And notice how the concept of power is defined throughout these affirmations. So often, society equates power with dominance, control, or just being the loudest person in the room. But here, power isn't about controlling others. It's entirely about mastering yourself. You are powerful when you respect yourself. You become a force when you prioritize your well-being and protect your energy with love. True inner power, according to the source, is derived from an unshakable foundation of self-respect and resilience. It's that quiet, steady confidence of knowing exactly who you are and protecting your peace at all costs. Ultimately, stepping into this highest version of yourself requires an active daily choice. The source emphasizes releasing all that doesn't align with your true self. And the core of that release really comes down to one fundamental choice. I choose love over fear. It's a daily, sometimes hourly commitment to stop letting anxiety, the fear of judgment, and that endless cycle of comparison dictate your path. Instead, you're letting self-love and radical self-acceptance guide your decisions. It's about consistently choosing the path of growth over the path of just playing it safe. And finally, let's look at section 5, the 21-day blueprint. So the magic number for this entire process is 21. The source explicitly instructs the listener to use this audio and these specific affirmations every single day for 21 days. Because we all know that changing your mindset isn't some one-and-done exercise. You can't just go to the gym once and expect to wake up ready to run a marathon, right? To truly experience the positive changes, form those new habits, and permanently rewire your brain's default settings, you need consistent daily commitment for 3 solid weeks. And here is the exact blueprint to make it stick. First, make it an unshakable daily habit. Listen in the morning to armor yourself for the day ahead, or right before sleep when your subconscious is wide open and highly receptive to suggestion. Second, listen as each affirmation is repeated twice, letting the meaning really truly sink in. And third, don't just passively listen, actively participate. Recite them in your mind, or honestly, even better, say them out loud. Remember those hiking trails we talked about earlier? This exact repetition is how you clear out the weeds and pave those new, permanent neural pathways of self-love and confidence. The source wraps up with a really profound reminder. You have the power to shape your story. You have the absolute power to create your dream life. By reprogramming your mind through these focused affirmations, you